Hey y'all, hey, today we're making country style collard greens. Alright, so what you're going to need is greens, of course, and we're using green bell pepper, have it diced. We're using yellow onion diced, sliced jalapeno, and you're also going to need apple cider vinegar. And we're going to use seasoned salt, garlic powder, and regular salt. Alright, then we have a little oil right here. And then we have brown sugar, yes, brown sugar and regular sugar. And we have smoked turkey necks right here. Y'all, get you some smoked turkey necks. Very good, add a lot of flavor to your recipe. And we have some water here, but we're going to use the water out of the sink. Alright, so let's go ahead and put our smoked turkey necks in the pot, and let's go ahead and fill our pot up with water. You want to make sure that the water is at least covering the turkey necks, maybe like a half an inch or an inch, something like that, just to make sure that there's plenty enough water in here to get these smoked turkey necks boiling. And after you have that done, then you want to go ahead and put them on the stove and let them cook. You want to let them cook for about 30 minutes, an hour. You want to let the smoked turkey neck flavor really season up your water, because it's going to be a good base for your greens. So while those turkey necks are cooking, you want to go ahead and get your greens ready. So we're going to go ahead and get our bunches taken off of the stem or the stalk of the greens, and you want to go ahead and start cutting them. So what I do is like to cut along the stem of the green, and then there's a little bit of stem that I like to leave at the top. I like a little bit more texture when I'm making collard greens. So you see why I just cut it right there. I didn't cut the stem completely out of the collard green, so if you want a little texture, you follow suit. You can even leave a little bit more stem than that. You just don't want the thick base of the green like you see down there, because then it gets like a little bit too chunky. So we're just doing the same thing with this collard green. I just want you all to see it twice for those who haven't cut collard greens before. You can also do this with your hands, but I like to use the quick and clean cut of a knife, and just fold your pieces and you set them to the side until you have all of them done, and then we're going to get it popping with the washing. Alright, so what I like to do is start off by just rinsing the greens with clear water. Okay, y'all, greens out of the store are not as gritty as if you were to get them like from a farm or something like that. They usually have actual dirt on them. You don't really see a lot of dirt with greens you buy out of the store, but I still like to wash them really good. What I did is went ahead and added some baking soda. That's something that you can add to your greens when you're washing them, just to help you really make sure that you get them clean. So just move them around in the sink and give them a good rinse. And I wash the greens probably about 3 times. So we have the baking soda over here, so I'm going to go ahead and start some more water over here in the sink with some baking soda. I didn't really measure, just not a lot, just enough to go ahead and get it dissolved in the sink. And so I'll go ahead and fill the sink up mostly with water, enough to make sure that I can cover the collard greens, and then I go ahead and place them in this sink and allow them to soak. And so if you have any of that grit that's on your collard greens, it can go ahead and loosen them up. You just toss your greens over into that sink. All right, just lay them right over there in that sink. And you can let them soak, for like 5 minutes or something like that. Usually I just slosh them around and, make sure that I'm moving around and getting them really incorporated into that water, so I'm getting them really clean. All right, just like that. You see me pressing them down. Okay, and then after that, we're going to repeat the process. Now, when we move the greens over, this time, I'm not going to add any baking soda, because you see that I've already done that twice already. Okay, so here we go with the next process. Like I said, you just toss your greens into the water. You can also, toss them one at a time, It's a lot of green. This is 4 bunches of greens, so that would take you a little while longer. So depending on how much time you have, but since I already have, the water going and stuff like that, I just went ahead and tossed them in there, and make sure that I've repeated the process again, like I said, and give them a soak. And then lastly, when I get ready to, I'm just showing y'all here the water. It's not really that dirty, so I know I don't need to rinse them again. And so when I take them out, sometimes I just rinse them one by one, give them a good inspection to make sure they're really clean. Other than that, I go ahead and transfer them and get them ready to go ahead and be cut. What I do is I stack the greens on top of each other, and then I roll them a little bit and just cut them across. Just like that, like an inch or so, 1.5 inches across. And then sometimes, you know, they're a little bit, still a little bit long, so I just cut them in half again, just like that. And set your greens to the side. And of course, you want to continue to repeat the process until all of your greens are nice and cut, ready to go. You don't want to cut these greens too small. All right, so we're checking on our smoked turkey neck. As you can see, it's good to go. The turkey neck has gotten tender. All right, and you have plenty of broth in there. You want to go ahead and pour off at least half of that broth because we don't need all of that to cook the collard greens. You can set it to the side to reserve it just in case you need additional broth later on in the process. So you just want to put your greens in the pot, and if anyone has made greens before, you know that these are going to cook all the way down. So what I like to do is start off by just placing the greens in the pot and letting them go ahead and cook down for a little bit like this, and then going ahead and adding the seasoning. I just think it's just pointless, you know, when the greens are filled to the top. So go ahead and add your onion. All right, and then we're going to add the bell pepper in there. Just dump it right in, and then we're going to go ahead and add our sugar. Y'all don't knock the sugar. Do not knock the sugar. You may want to cut the sugar in half and just kind of see, you know, just in case you think the sweet may bother you. But with all these flavors of the ingredients added into this pot, I promise you the sugar and it balances out with the other seasoning. Jalapeno, dump that in there, seeds and all. If you know you're conscious about heat, you may want to go ahead and remove the seeds, but keep the jalapeno, the whole jalapeno, because the jalapeno itself is not that spicy. All right, so we added our oil and our apple cider vinegar in there, and you're going to give it a stir. And I forgot to add the cayenne pepper. I didn't have it in the beginning for y'all, but we're going to add the cayenne pepper in a minute. Yeah, we have the jalapeno, and we need a little bit more kick with the cayenne pepper. It's not too much with all, you know, the sugar and the broth and the other ingredients. All right, pop that in there. We're going to go ahead and put the lid on this thing, and we'll go ahead and let it cook down some more and let it get a good simmer. Sometimes greens can be bitter and they may take a little bit longer to cook. So you just want to make sure that you taste them before you take them off and that they get that deep green color like you see here. So of course you can't have collard greens without the cornbread. So we're going to go ahead and link our cornbread recipe up above. As always, we hope that you all enjoyed this recipe video. Please like this video, please share it, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and make sure that you hit the bell so that you're notified anytime that we post a new video. Thank you all as always, and we'll definitely catch you all next time. Y'all, look how tender that turkey neck is. Good. You definitely want to eat those too. They are delicious. All right, y'all, later.